Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate your help and great to be here today with this distinguished panel. Our Department of Economic Development Board is really supportive of our mission, but June and Jake really are two of the best board members that we've had, and I'm really honored for them to be with me today. And Henry County has tremendous advocates on our Economic Development Board, and I know that that's a real asset for you, Josh. But along with you and the Chamber President Joe Henning, Henry County has a great team for growing jobs and investment, and I want to say thanks for what you guys continue to do to support us. And so, I've got great news for Henry County. As I'm sure you guys have noticed, you're killing it. You've done a tremendous job in growing jobs and investment, and it's really a great partnership. So in FY21, year to date in Henry County, we've seen 8 project locations or expansions, almost 2,200 new jobs created, and $417 million of new investment. I mean, that is, you guys would be the envy of most communities around the state. In the last 5 years, Henry County's welcomed 27 new locations, almost 6,000 new jobs created, and $1 billion of investment. Again, that is just pretty fantastic, and a lot of that has come over the last 2 years. Reinvestments from Ken's Food is a great example that shows your community is healthy as your companies continue to reinvest. And then you've had new investments, Radial Inc. With a $40 million investment in their new fulfillment center, and then advanced manufacturing with Zenus and Purple. Those companies have made a huge difference in the local community and the economy. And it shows, again, that you're really healthy and things are trending in the right direction. Sangs and Technology American, that won one of our GDEcD Gear Awards as our 2020 Supplier of the Year. You should be really proud of these companies and what it means that they're continuing to grow. And I'm sure that you've all heard from your business community. Georgia's response to the pandemic has really attracted new attention from companies around the globe who really appreciate our sensible approach to protecting lives, the economy, and livelihood. And so to maximize that attention and really assist Georgia companies as they continue to grow coming out of the pandemic, our department is offering more services than ever to respond to our Georgia businesses and to partner with them. So I'm going to hit a few high points from some of the other divisions that maybe don't get as much attention, but that things that they are doing to really help Georgia companies continue to grow. So our International Trade Division, this is the division that helps Georgia companies find new markets and customers around the world. And they do an amazing job. In fact, they have done something that no other trade organization has been able to say, and then they won the Department of Commerce's E-Star Award 4 times. So that's the equivalent of 4 national titles. I am a Georgia fan through and through, but that's a little bit like Nick Saban for international trade. And so that really is amazing that we've got that asset right here for Georgia companies. In 2020, in the face of the pandemic, Georgia became one of the top 10 largest exporting states for the first time ever. And so that's pretty amazing too, that we can, with all the international headwinds that we've seen, that our department continues to move forward when it comes to international trade. Over the last 10 years, our trade division has worked with 12 Henry County companies, including Leanne's Gourmet Foods, Guided System Technologies, Parts Inc., and more. Together, we've achieved 23 export successes in Henry County, and that each one of those successes adds new jobs and new opportunities. And that we know that at least 250 Henry County companies are doing business internationally, and more than 65% of the county's exports go to locations where we have representation, which is exciting for us too. More than $254 million in goods were exported from Henry County in 2018. And so we're here to help your businesses reach even further. Our trade division is offering new grants with our Go Global Georgia program, thanks to the U.S. Small Business Association. And then we're trying to connect Georgia's exporting business with global buyers through our Export Georgia USA directory. Our centers of innovation, kind of in the same business that trade does with looking externally, the centers of innovation look internally, and they help small businesses and companies connect to our university system for more research opportunities. But they led the Georgia PPE suppliers list and our interactive map of 360 Georgia businesses that were able to produce or distribute critical supplies during the pandemic, which really helped us keep Georgia dollars in state. It is fantastic when a Georgia company can purchase their needed critical supplies from another Georgia company and really help to keep all of that at home. But they're helping create ecosystems for Georgia jobs of the future, and they're a great resource in the department as well. One of the divisions that probably has had the biggest impact in Henry County is film. And you guys have seen just unbelievable private investment in production infrastructure, as well as the shows that are filming there. And it supports thousands of jobs in the state. There are nearly 3,040 motion picture and television industry businesses in Georgia with over 2,000 production related companies. I mean, that is just exponential growth that we've seen in the industry. Thousands of people have joined our crew base, and that's really thanks in part to the Georgia Film Academy and our efforts to grow the education piece here in Georgia. Thousands of films have been shot here, but we have more top grossing films in Georgia than anywhere else in the world, and we remain #1 for film production. But Henry County has seen more than its share. The impact of The Walking Dead to the region has been unbelievable. Spider-Man, Homecoming, Suicide Squad, Watchmen, and of course, Sweet Magnolias. I mean, there is a database right now of over 90 film and TV shows that have been lensed in Henry County. And you know, what's amazing is our response to the pandemic, opening up first for filming, has only seen growth. We have more shows filming in Georgia right now than we have ever had. And that's because New York and California remain closed. And you know, there's been a lot of good news that's going on, but one of the things that I need to touch on are some of the tough stories that we've seen from the pandemic. Some industries really have been impacted more than others, and that really is, for us, it's arts and tourism. Arts organizations play a critical role in our communities and our economy, and they really contribute to that quality of life that makes us unique as Georgians. The arts community has been among the hardest hit just because people can't gather in person. And so we're seeing our Georgia Council for the Arts has really been working hard to extend lifelines back into our arts community. You know, we administer a number of different grants, and so we're looking at you know, extending those grants, giving people more time and opportunity to take them, helping connect the dots to additional funding sources, and just being a resource for assistance and ideas and guidance. And so, as your communities are seeing some of that impact, please send them back to us so that we can assist there. And then tourism. You know, one of the hardest hit areas is tourism and hospitality. You know, unemployment, I heard the governor say this recently, that unemployment in our state's about 5.6%, 5.7%. If you were to back out tourism, travel, hospitality, and arts jobs, we're basically at full employment at this point. And so getting those jobs back and bringing that industry back has to happen for us to be back to full employment and for the economy to be back up and running. So we added a new commissioner, our Deputy Commissioner, Mark Juronsky, to lead our Explore Georgia Tourism Office. We're excited about some of the things that are going on. The General Assembly gave us an additional $1 million for marketing coming out of COVID. We're excited about what we can do to really focus on destination ideas for spring break and for summer, but road trips, budget-friendly spring breaks, botanical gardens. Jake, we're going to look at, of course, agritourism remains really important for us. And so, you know, getting into strawberry picking and There's so many great things that we can focus on. But one of the trends that we're seeing is that people want to travel. And so we're going to really focus on getting them to do it in Georgia. And then looking ahead, we're excited to continue to partner with our businesses and our communities to keep Georgia moving forward. I think we're on a great path to growth, and continued communication and cooperation really remain critical for the entire state. So that's why it's really important for events like this where we can connect back to our leadership in Henry County and talk about what we can do better together. This agency is a responsive agency. We appreciate the partnership, and we really look forward to continuing to deliver on this mission of creating jobs and opportunities together. Josh, that's a quick update. I tried to get as much in as I could in a small amount of time. So I'll kick it back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. We appreciate that update. Jen, we'll start off with you.
Well, thank you. And thank you, Commissioner, for joining us today here in Henry County. And I do want to say thank you to the governor, who's made 2 appointments to the Georgia Department of Economic Development from Henry County. And that means we've got a seat at the table. And I've been so proud of the partnerships that we've experienced with our local Henry County Development Authority, also with our Board of Commissioners, working with the cities, and of course, all that has been continuing to move forward with the partnership and collaboration. Our role, as you can see today, is to continue to bring back information. I know Jake and I are often at every meeting, the virtual ones and the in-person ones, and we're always thinking about Henry County, to choose Henry. So one of the things that I think is going to be a great opportunity going forward is how do we continue this record-breaking investment and jobs here in Henry County. Now, I'll let Jake talk a little bit about the tourism aspect of it.
But follow that voice of passion in June. I tell you, I'm so proud of her. You can't find a better advocate for this community than June would. And I think our colleagues on the board stated that a few meetings ago when they elected her as vice chair. Well deserved for June. It's an honor to serve on this board, and to have a seat at the table, like June said. And Commissioner Wilson, thank you for being here with us today. I think that pretty much says it all. I mean, it's the pipeline that not only with Henry County, but other counties all around the state, that you keep going and keep open. You referenced national titles a minute ago, and I think Georgia, although the Bulldogs can't hang their hat on that title, but the #1 state to do business, I would say that could be referenced as a national titles. And how many of them do we have now?
8 years in a row, my friend.
8 years in a row. That's better than saving, isn't it? So
that's better. Absolutely.
We're just so proud. It's just an honor to be a part of that. Honor to be a part of a winning team. Just I think our role sums it up. Just be an advocate for our community and on this board. It's just an honor to serve. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you. I'm going to stay on tourism for just a minute. How has the department assisted tourism industry? Commissioner, you expanded on that a little bit in my question, but what areas coming out of COVID are y'all really excited about where the growth opportunities are on the tourism side?
Josh, it's been fascinating to watch the numbers, and we make a lot of our decisions on what we are investing in based on the data and where people are going and what they're focused on. During the pandemic, just like everybody else, we had to reconfigure all of our marketing. People were staying at home, and so we pivoted to focus on exploring Georgia from home. And so if you guys, you may have seen a lot of the things that we pushed out were trying to help people, fall back in love with their state. One of the amazing things that and I don't think we see this until you have an opportunity like this to get back out. But we live in a beautiful state, and it's the diversity of experiences that you can have within a few hours drive is pretty amazing. And so from picking strawberries to hiking in the mountains, all of that is really close. And so one of the things that we've seen is not only do people want to do something, they want to do it safely, and they want to, and so that means that a lot of times we've seen that they want to be outside. We've seen record attendance at our state parks. And you guys know that we have the most beautiful state parks in the country. I give Commissioner Williams a huge amount of credit for the work that they've done. But I think what we're going to continue to do is focus on Georgia and focus on getting Georgians to explore Georgia as we roll into summer, and once we get more shots and people begin to travel more, take advantage of the time that they spend at home learning about the state. But there are things like that we focused on that really help people re-fall in love with the state. So I think that's one of the things that we're really going to push. And then the other piece of this partnership are the CVBs and really the local partners that have been impacted more than anything else. We are going to put 50% of the $1 million that we got from the General Assembly. We're going to push that back out into grants to local CVBs and local tourism DMOs, because they get money generally from beds and heads in communities. And when people stopped traveling, their funding source went down tremendously. So we're going to try to get those community organizations back up and running, because we're only as good as our partnerships. And so that's what we're focused on coming out of the pandemic.
But one thing a lot of folks don't realize is Atlanta Motor Speedway has really done well. Brandon Hutchison and his team on the film side. So I kind of want to ask, Commissioner and the board members, have y'all been involved in the film? Which community you think has done it really well? Henry County's got a good record, but we obviously want to increase that. But where should we look as an example to take that next step to grow our film industry here?
Josh, I want to say that first, you guys have a great camera ready representative. Laura does an amazing job down there. And so that is the first step, right, to continuing to grow your film industry, is making sure that you've got a great representative who understands the industry and then understands the benefits and assets of the community. And Laura does that and does a great job. Or on your website, there's a list your property option. And so make sure that your businesses and even home and landowners who are interested in supporting the industry have that property listed and that we know that it's available. And then our Real Scout database on our website, make sure that there's participation there as well. And then, I do want to give a shout out to Atlanta Motor Speedway. I mean, throughout this entire pandemic, they've worked with us really from day one to be a good partner and a corporate citizen. They were trying to figure out how to follow the guidelines and keep businesses safe, but continuing to be open strategically as needed. And they became a great filming location. They've been a great partner, and I really appreciate that. But that kind of reputation of the community helps sell more opportunity. And so, with your connection from Laura to the industry and to the department, and then continuing to do things the right way, the sky's the limit. You're going to continue to grow.
And I would like to add too, Josh, I listed the list of partners that we have, and I must again place a plug in there for our Henry County Chamber. So again, thank you, Henry County Chamber, for hosting today so that we can continue to educate, especially all of those industries that are there here, making the biggest impact here to our economy in Henry County. But I also would like to say that's one of the things, again, that we've seen from the Georgia Department of Economic Development is the partnership locally. That is continue to educate. Jake and I are oftentimes, again, just thinking about, as I said before, what impact can we bring back to Henry County, and partnering with the Chamber and all others that are making the big results that we're already experiencing. So again, just very proud of the partnership, the collaboration. And again, Jake and I are very committed to, again, working as closely as we can to be those ambassadors and do what we're doing today, is to educate and to make sure our partnerships are at the table as well.
GDEcD and the Henry County Development Authority has had a very strong run at advanced manufacturing lately. And GDEc is pushing strong a Georgia made message, which one of our companies, Luxottica, is participating in that program right now, highlighting Georgia made products. So I'm going to ask each of our panelists, what's your favorite Georgia made / Henry made in Henry product? You can't self promote.
Combine Georgia made and Henry made. I got to go with Southern Belle.
Yeah.
The products we have here are just the finest in the world. But no, there's a tremendous amount of when I think of this, I think of ag. Obviously, my mind goes to that. And there's a lot of great farmers markets and all, not just in our local area in Henry County. There's some wonderful ones, but as you travel around the state, whether it be in the North Georgia mountains with the apple guys, or the Middle Georgia peach boys, or down around South Georgia with the pecans. These guys are really becoming entrepreneurs in a way that they're using the byproducts to make candies and jams and jellies and just all sorts of things. Georgia's has a tremendous amount to offer when it comes to agriculture. You know, I was going to say that.
I knew you were, and I got a follow-up question on that because all of our listeners want to know, when does the spring season open at Southern Belle?
Well, we open on April Fool's Day, not to be strawberries won't be ready then. I don't think, but we're hoping to have strawberries ready to be picked around the first week of April. Fingers crossed. You know, the weather can change on a dime, so we certainly hope that we'll open it then, because I know we can all already taste that strawberry shortcake. So looking forward to having each of you out.
Of course, I've got to support my partner, Southern Belle, the strawberry shortcake, the peach ice cream, and everything else. But I oftentimes think about what are my favorites. And first of all, I just appreciate every business that is located here to Henry County and is bringing jobs and investment. And so one of the things I would say is my top is Nestle. You probably can figure that out because I think I feel up a pound or two eating so many chocolate. I'll start there, but I also, think about what's in my refrigerator, what at home else have I have. And I would say Ken's Food, especially that, what is it, the sweet Vidalia and onion light salad dressing. So my family uses that oftentimes as well. So, Josh, that's but I think it's a good one to say, hey, Henry County citizens, let's support our local businesses as well. And, glad to have so many. And of course, you think about Purple Mattress and need to get a new mattress. So think Purple. So anyways, just again, so many options. And that's the awesome thing. As you said earlier, there are so many communities that is envious of Henry County and the variety and the diversity that is here and more to come.
I'm not gonna do something different. I'm gonna have Southern Belle, of course. I mean, what are you talking about?
I put them in the Georgia made, Georgia grown, made in Henry category.
That's right. Look, I think to what June just said, we've seen this amazing change in consumer habits over the last year, especially, but even prior to that, people wanted they wanted access to things that are made at home. They wanted access to things that they knew that Georgians were participating in and provided jobs. I made a personal change in how I bought mattresses over this last year, where I bought a Zenos mattress online. It came in a box, and so I wanted to support the company that is investing in Georgia. But Luxottica is another great example. Whether you're buying Ray-Bans or that's a Georgia-made product that is right here, and they're contributing to our economy. And that's Henry County and Georgia-made. But I tell you, last night I had dinner with a company, and one of the things that we got off on a tangent about, Georgia agriculture, and one of the things that I think that I love and has really we've seen an impact is the olive oil industry in Georgia. And so this company was so captivated by the story of this new ag industry, this new cash crop, and what I term our Georgia oil barons that are creating this whole new industry with a product that is fantastic. It competes against anything in the world, and it's made right here in Georgia. And so that is for me one of my very favorite things. We give these products when we are traveling internationally. I love giving Georgia products, and the olive oil has been a winner over and over and over again. So that's a lot of it's tough for me to choose because I love all my children equally.
We really don't take advantage and think about everything that's behind the walls and being made in these manufacturing facilities and distribution facilities in Henry County. And a lot of it's at our grocery store and our shelves and things that impact us and we see every day and we just don't think about it. And I do want to challenge all our viewers to, check out Georgia Made, Made in Henry, as that rolls out this summer through the Development Authority and our chamber. Just, let's support each other in this, because we're only just strengthening our economy even more by doing that. And I do want to take a second and thank our panel again. Commissioner Wilson, always good to see you. Hopefully we have you here physically soon. And I know we got some more great announcements coming with the department as well. June and Jake, always good to have you with us, and appreciate y'all's continued support of Henry County and helping us be advocates across the state with your roles on the boards.